Hello, everybody. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? How are you? I hope you're doing well. It is drama free. We hope. Friday. Right? Everybody nod your head, cross your fingers and your toes. And any other body parts you want to cross, or you can. It would be okay. Just looking at what I'm doing here. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. It's Friday. It's Friday. It's a good day. It's a good day to get creative. Isn't it handy that that's my name? Other than Barb Owen, right? Yep, it is Get Creative. More appropriately, it is How to Get Creative. All right. So I think we're good. All right, let me say hello to everybody first, and then we'll get going. Hi, Nancy, Sheila, Linda. Hi, Laura, Joni, Lori. Hi, Linda. Hi, Joan. Skinny Cat Carrie. Hi, Beth. Hi, Mindy. Betty Joe. Terry. Oh, it's so good to see everybody. Hi, Dana. Jean. No more gremlins. Man, I hope not. We had enough gremlins. Enough gremlins. Hi, Tori. Linda McAllister. Oh, you're sweet, Laura. Hey, Debbie. Hi, Ina. Several of you in the chat I just sent packages to yesterday. And so you can be looking for those in the mail. It'll just be a surprise as to who it is. Hi, Sylvia. Shelly. Hi, Robin. Hi, Nuit. Hi, Frederica. I haven't seen you for a long time. Good to see you. Hi, Jan. Marion. Dorothy. Hi, Sherry. Cindy. Go away, Siri.
To unlock your iPhone first.
Go away, Siri. Siri will not allow me to say hello to Sherry. She just won't. She just won't. She won't have it. She's not having it. Hi, Mary. She's not having it. So we have to tell her to go away. Hello, Anne. Making masks and watching? Good. All right. So, and welcome to everybody else as you're coming in. I'm glad you're here. So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to jump into creating a project, and then I'm going to back up and I'm going to show Happy Mail and so forth and so on. Okay? So that's what I'm going to be doing. So we'll kind of get things out of order a little bit, but I need to have this thing dry a little bit. So what we've been doing in, since January when I started back to a weekly schedule, I've been working in the Dina Wakley journal, art journal, which is buried under a pile of stuff, or I'd show it to you. It's over there buried. And so that's what we've been working in. And I decided today to sort of take a little sidetrack, and we may work back and forth between these two journals. But I thought this is something that you could do if you wanted to do it with me. If you don't, and you just want to watch and do it later, that's fine, because you may not have the stuff handy to make it anyway. My hair is getting long. Yes, it's getting long. It's driving me. Anyway, we'll just leave it at that. Hi, CP. Yeah, I'm not a long hair kind of person anymore. I was when I was in college. That was many, many, many moons ago. Yeah, Clausman always says he married me for my hair, and then I cut it off. It's like, well, there you go. The poor hair. I'm hoping that they open up the salons before long. When you're a short hair kind of person and you're used to getting your hair cut every 5 weeks, and I think I'm going on 11 weeks now, or 12 maybe, I don't know. I lost count. I'm doing coffee today. It is a royal that we're all going. The only thing that's comforting about it is we all look a mess together. So anyway, okay. So let's talk about this little journal that I'm going to put together. You may just want to watch, and then we'll talk about why and what it's for and all that kind of stuff in a little bit. Okay? Okay. You like the length it is? I don't like the length it is, but it's what I have, and I'm grateful to have it. So there you go. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so I'm going to make this little book out of, it's a little journal that I'm going to put together. It probably, by the time I get it all together, will just look as wonky as can be. And that's the way it's going to be. It's just maybe the way it's going to be. And I'm going to have pages glued together a little bit and stuff like that. And again, that's just how it's going to be. And we're just going to work around the issues because I didn't put papers in between my pages. So let's back up, shall we, and start from the beginning. Okay. So here's what I'm using because I thought maybe some of you would have this on hand. I'm using Artist Loft, which translates as inexpensive watercolor paper, okay? I'm using 90-pound paper, and this particular pad comes with 25 sheets. Why did I choose 90-pound paper? Mainly because it's one that I had enough of. Because here's the deal, people. Here's the deal. I'm running low on supplies, and I am ordering things. You would think, looking around me that would never happen. But there's stuff I use up, right? Hey, Race. Hi, Barbara. We'll let Race make that decision. If he wants to unmod you, he can unmod you. It's fine. Either way. Because I have Race and Clausman here today. So anyway, where was I? Yeah, so this is what I have on hand. So I'm using 90-pound paper. It's working fine. So, yeah, it's working fine. So there you go. 90-pound paper is not, is the lighter weight paper of the two watercolor papers that I have from Artist Loft, which is my preferred watercolor paper because I'm not a watercolor person, typically. Well, no, I'm not a watercolor person ever. Let's just say that. So anyway, this is 9 by 12. Okay, 9 by 12. I ripped out the 9 by 12 sheets. It's probably going to drive my camera to distraction, so we're just going to put this in here with it so it has something to look at. This is the 9 by 12 sheet, so it's 12 inches long, 9 inches wide, and then I cut it in half. Okay, cut it in half. Now, when it says that it's 12 inches long, that's a little iffy. It's actually a little less than 12 inches long. So when you cut it in half, you have to, for this, pardon me, if you want all your pages to be the same height or close to the same height, you need to cheat a little less than 6. How much? Not much, just a skidge. Just a skidge less than 6 when you cut it in half. Then you take those sheets of paper, and you're going to need 14 of them. You're going to basically need 14 sheets of paper. And so then what you're going to do is you're going to take these pieces of paper, and this is going to go against the grain. So the paper is not going to want to do this. It's not going to be happy, but we don't care. We do not care if it's happy. It's just going to cooperate with us. All right, so I'm going to take the 9-inch width. I'm going to fold it in half. I'm not even going to score it. This is a down and dirty. I decided, okay, let me tell you the truth. I decided to do this morning. So we're doing this the fastest way possible, okay? Fastest way possible. So I am just folding it in half. I didn't score anything. Just kind of get the crease started. And you can tell right here, this is not going to fold well. Oh well, we don't care. And then I have a Teflon bone folder, so that's what I'm using. If you have something else, you can use it. And then just fold them in half, like so, okay? So you're going to take your 14 sheets of paper, if you want to do what I'm doing, and you're going to fold them. We'll do one more. So you're going to cut them in half and then fold them, just like this. So it's going to make a 4.5, give or take, by 6, give or take, little journal when we get done. Okay? All right. Hi, Lauren. You see a mandala on the desk? Where do you see a mandala on the desk? I don't see one. Was there one here? Oh, you're seeing the one over here probably. So that's what I'm using. I'm just using 90-pound paper. It worked. It's working fine for this so far. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a version of my positive words journal. We'll talk about why in a little bit. And so the next thing you need to do is you need to go through your pages and you need to mark them to keep yourself straight. Okay, you need to mark them to keep yourself straight. So I'm going to switch to the one that I have in process. So this little book is going to be glued together. I debated about different ways to put it together, and I'm going to glue it together because I think it's easiest. So we're going to glue this. The first page is going to glue to the cover, whatever we do with the cover eventually. So I wrote on glue to cover. Inside, I'm going to leave this page blank, and this is going to be my, more or less, my title page. So I just wrote in pencil, title. And then on the next, so then I picked up my next 2 pages. These are already glued together, so that's not a good example. So pretend with me that this is A. So for the letter A, I would put an A and an A in the corner. And then I would pick up and I would put glue on the outside, the 2 outside pages. Pick up the next one and write glue, and then the next letter of the alphabet. So there's G in this case. Glue, glue, and then I put H, and I'm putting it down in the bottom corner. Glue, glue, and I, so I can keep myself straight, okay? You got to keep yourself straight in this process. Okay. Once you get yourself organized and you know what's going where and you get organized, I'm going to use a glue stick to put this together because it puts the least amount of moisture into my pages. Hey, Shelly. Hi, everybody coming in. Hello, hello. So I'm going to work from the front to the back on my book. Okay, so I'm working from front to back. So I'm going to show you what I've done already. Then we're going to do a few pages. Then we're going to back up and start the stream. Okay. So this is glue to the cover. Eventually, this is my title page. So then I have page A, and I glued A, the back of A, to the back of the title page. So there's actually 2 pieces of paper, watercolor paper, glued together right there. So it makes a really sturdy page, actually. And I wasn't careful with the glue. So can you see? No, because the camera's not going to light. There we go. So you can see up here some of the remnants of glue. It's going to go away. It's not going to matter. So then you're going to glue the back side of A to the back side of B, the back side of B to the back side of C, and so forth. Okay, so I'm going to come over here to E because I have some more pages all ready to go, and you're going to get to see what I'm talking about. Okay, so here we go. So I'm just going to put a piece of paper in the inside my page, and I have my stack of pages right here ready to go, so I know what's what. And why did I label all this stuff? Just so I knew how many pages I needed to have, and so I could keep myself straight. All right, so this is going to be letter E, which is going to glue to the F page like this. Okay, so I'm going to put glue on this side, and I'm going to put glue on this side. If you wanted to just glue a whole bunch of pages together, that's fine. Knock yourself out. And then I'm going to use glue stick, and I'm going to put glue stick on both pieces. Just whatever glue stick you have access to that you like. And if you like to use some other glue or paste or something, you know, it's completely up to you. What I'm using is Elmer's Extreme because I have a bunch of it. I ordered like 24 sticks of it or something like that. It happens to be my preferred glue stick. Does that mean it's the only glue stick to use? Nope. If you like a different one, or if you like a different kind of glue to glue things together, then that's what you should use. Totally. I like the glue stick for stuff like this only because it doesn't get the pages real wet. So then I'm gonna, and I have paper in between to try to control the glue factor. So then I'm gonna take this page and I'm gonna open my book up like this, and I'm gonna line up these corners as best I can. Now, is your book gonna go wonky before this is over with? Highly likely. Highly likely it's gonna go wonky. It's gonna get out of shape. This is not what you call fine bookmaking techniques. Not at all. Not at all. And then I just use a scraper and scrape the pages. Burnish them together like this. Okay. And so now I have added, here's my page D. You can see the D up there. And I've added E. And by doing this, you're going to end up with a 2-page spread, and you're not going to end up with any gutters in your book. But it may or may not end up to be square. Well, when we glue a cover to it on the outside, put a cover on it, we'll cover up a myriad of sins, okay? We will. All right. Now, it's not gonna want to stick real well up here. You can see it wanting to kind of pull apart. It's gonna do that. You're gonna have to put it under weight and let it sit for a little bit. So let's do one more page. Let's do one more. Now, I have a whole stack of glue papers. There's even glue. Okay, I have a whole stack of glue papers. I'm not going to use the same paper over and over. In fact, I'm just going to get some new glue papers. And the reason for that is because if you're trying to control the mess, it's a really good idea to just keep using different papers. Okay. So this is F. This is my F page. So, and I have on here glue because it's going to keep me organized. And F is going to glue to G like this. Okay, so this is the side I'm going to glue. Just like this. Put in a piece of paper to kind of control the glue. I'm going to show you other options for how you could create a journal or use one you already have here in a minute, but I just want to do one more page here. You do need a good coat of glue. You do need a glue stick that sticks if you're going to depend on this to hold your book together. Okay? So, if you only have washable glue sticks, the washable glue sticks, in my opinion, don't hold very well, but you might have good luck with them. So if you have good luck with them, like I said, use whatever you have. whatever you do, I would put glue, personally, on both sides of the page. Why am I qualifying myself as I'm saying this? Because these streams go out to the world. They go to 900 kinds of people with different supplies and different abilities. And so I just want you to be able to do whatever it is that you have access to. If you want to make something like this, with limited supplies, surely we can do that. Okay, so I've opened my book, so I have just the one page out here. I'm opening this so I know what I'm lining up, but glue to glue has a better chance of sticking than glue just to dry paper. Okay, so line it up as best you can. And then just use something to burnish the pages together. You're going to get some moisture in the pages. That's just inevitable. Because the glue stick, even though it's pretty dry, still has quite a bit of moisture. Okay, so although it's not totally stuck together, the spine is staying fairly straight. It's fairly flat, fairly straight, but I'm sure by the time I get 14 pages that are cut in half, translating into 28 pages, glued together, it's probably going to go wonky, right? It probably will. So then what I do is I just take something that's flat, like you could do score tape if you want. It's just totally whatever you want. The way you like to put things together, that's what I would use. We're going to probably introduce moisture into it later, and so, if things decide to fall apart, they just decide to fall apart, and then you just repair it. So we'll talk about that a little bit more. Okay, so here's what I have. This is an old iron, and it is really heavy. Some people use bacon presses. Some people use heavy books. You can use any kind of thing you like, but put some weight on it. Put something flat on top of it. Put some weight on it. If you want to make sure your pages don't stick together, then you need to put wax paper or parchment paper or something in between the pieces of the pages. But, clearly I didn't do that because I had some of them stick together. So I'm not going to worry about it. So this is my paper weight. I have several of these old irons like this, and I use these a lot. I do have a bona fide book press, and I have other small book press type things. But honestly, more times than not, I will use this. Okay, so that's going to sit and dry for a little bit while we chat. So I wanted to get that part done so we could actually move forward. Yeah, heavy books works great. It's whatever you have that works for you. This is one of those project type things that however it works for you, it works for you. Okay? Like I said, I thought of this morning. I decided to do this morning. So you can assemble your entire book, which I would recommend before you start in it. That's not what we're going to do here today. But that's what I would recommend. Okay, so let's go back up and start at the very beginning, as the song says. And first of all, welcome everybody. My name is Barb Owen, in case you didn't know. And I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for joining me today. If you want to see what I did up to now, you just scroll back in real time and you can see what I did. This stream will be made public later, so if you want to review it later, you can do that. But it'll be sometime this evening before it is public. So welcome to everyone who is joining us. So, how are you guys doing? That's the question. That's the $64,000 question right now, isn't it? How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're navigating your way through these kind of, you hear people talking about unprecedented, yeah, Mary says, is it drama-free Friday? It is drama-free Friday, shockingly. I mean, I'm in that boat too of trying to keep track of what day it is. Have you guys found that? That you get to a point where it's like the days sort of blend into each other? Lauren got the tea I rave about, and it's delish. It is delish. That is the Celestial Seasonings Bengal Spice we're talking about. Yeah, miss shopping, miss getting out. There's all kinds of things to miss. I know. But how are you going? CB's doing okay. She hasn't killed her husband yet, so there you go. Beth's doing great. That's wonderful. I hope those of you that were in Beyond Mandala Madness have found that using the mandalas as a way to distract yourself, to possibly cope, to express yourself. I hope that all of that has helped you a lot. Yeah, and hi Ellie. And these kinds of things will trigger all kinds of stuff. Yeah, they will just, if there's anything that can trigger you, this could be it. So, and triggers aren't necessarily, I'm going to go out on a limb here, but triggers aren't necessarily bad. They do have a way of showing us where we are. I'm not a psychologist. I need to not, or a counselor or anything else. I need to not go there anymore. I'm speaking only from my own personal experience. I got, a few months ago, I got mightily triggered by something, and it took me quite a while to work through it. And I was very surprised that whatever that things like that could actually still trigger me. So it was a surprise, but it was a good surprise. Emotional, not comfortable, but it was good because it let me know that I still had some work to do. So, hello everybody coming in. Welcome. Mandala's have been a good tool for Lauren. Good. Hi, Kate. So, there you go. So anyway, I just wanted to ask you how you were doing, because I will tell you, for me, I've gone through a myriad of emotions. And I think it's not unlike the cycle of when you're given bad news about something, your emotions sort of start lining up, and you kind of make your way from one to the next, from this cannot be happening. I hate this. I refuse to participate in this. This is not, it starts all of that stuff coming up. And then somewhere along the line, for me, I can only speak for me, but somewhere along the line in there, I got to a point where I went, apparently this is how it's going to be, And so I can either decide to accept it and keep moving, or I can let it completely stop me. And so that's kind of where I am at this point. I am at the point of going, okay, now it's only taken, 5 weeks for me to get to this point, because I've been able to distract myself with other things. So distracting is good as long as it's in a positive, using positive methods. And in my past, my choices weren't always so positive. And so I can be really thankful that my choices are really positive now. So there you go. Hi, Teresa. Yeah, Chris says she's in a better mental place than this first started. Yeah, me too. Me too. So, you have to stay in the present moment. You really do. If if you can't find a way to get present with where you are right now, I mean, if we ever needed a chance to remind us that we better get present and stay present because this is what we have as the moment right now, this is it, man. This is it. This is it. So anyway, I just thought I would tell you that that's kind of what, where I am with it. The whole thing is feeling a sense of acceptance. And do I like it? Nope. But that's okay. I don't have to like it. I don't have to like it. I don't have to like it. But I can still accept it and not have to like it, right? So it is what it is. It is what it is. My son used to say to me, it's the how of it. And he's right. He said that to me when he was a little bitty thing. And I used to think, how can you have that wisdom? I mean, he was really small. How can you have that wisdom? Yeah, it's just the way it is. Hey, Jan. It is just the way it is. So we might as well accept it and make the best of it. Right? Right. Okay, so let's move on. So I was thinking this morning, as I was getting ready, actually I was thinking about it when I was, I have a quiet time in the morning, and so I was doing my quiet time thing, and that's often where I get some of the best ideas about stuff. And so when I was in that quiet time, that's when I decided that the best thing to do was to switch the course of what we're doing here today. And so I have learned that that you just have to follow. For me, I have to follow the leadings that come my direction. So that's why we're going to do what we're going to do today. Before that, I have some happy mail to show you. And I actually braved the whatever yesterday and went to the post office. Where I live, I have a post office box at a mall that's not too far from me. Super convenient. If there is one thing I've learned through this, is to appreciate the conveniences that have come my direction. Okay, I have really learned to appreciate convenience, and the convenience, and it's the little things that I go, whoa, I took that so for granted, and now I can't have that. I can't do that thing. Not right now. Maybe I will in the future, but anyway, my post office box is in the mall. Well, they closed the mall. Okay? They closed the mall. And so that means I didn't have access to getting the mail. And so that meant I had to go downtown to the big post office, which I really don't care to do. And I had a bunch of stuff that had been piling up that needed to be mailed. So I got it all together. Got it all. That's a nice little perk. But everything's closed, so it doesn't make any difference anyway. So anyway, I got down there and parked, got out of my car, and on the pavement right by my car is a dime. And I've shown you in the past, how the coins that I find, and I always find that to be, for me, so encouraging. Anyway, it was a dime. I appreciated that. I really did. So, go in the post office, stand the appropriate distance. There weren't a lot of people in there. Stood where I was supposed to stand, got up to the counter, and the guy, and as I was walking up to the counter, I'm like, I should ask him if there's any way I can get my mail. And so he assumed that I was sending masks, face masks to people because they were kind of thick envelopes. And I said, no, it's just paper. And so he got everything all taken care of for me. And then I said, now where is it that I go? Or I asked him about the mail, and he says, oh, we have it all here. We brought all the mail from all the branches here, so you can get it here. I was like, well, that's great. He said, just when you go out, You can go over there and ring the little bell and they'll come and they'll give it to you. And I'm like, well, that is wonderful. I was so surprised. I was so surprised and so glad that it even occurred to me to ask. And so I got done, taking care of all of my stuff. And he said, just a minute, I'll go get your mail for you. I what? Blow me down. Usually they are so cranky in that main post office. That was so nice to have somebody be so pleasant. So he came back with this package and he says, look, it even has a butterfly on it. He was very impressed with the fact that it had a butterfly on it. But I want you to see that this three-dimensional butterfly on here, can you see that? You see how it has wings? That three-dimensional butterfly made it all the way through the mail without even being ripped apart. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, wasn't that nice? So this is from a girl named Amber. And I don't know for sure how to say her last name. I don't know if it's Rundle or Rundell. But she sent me this lovely package of Happy Mail. And she put colorful stickers, which I will take off, and pretty washi tape. This is Jane Davenport washi tape, I think. So I'll take those off and put them in my journal. So anyway, I wanted to show you what she sent. First of all, back in here, there was a card that she sent, so I'm going to show you that. I did peek at this already. I know. I did peek. So I just wanted you to see. So she made this, I don't know if she made the envelope. Looks like she might have, yeah, I think she probably did. Anyway, for sure she decorated it. But this is the card that she sent. I just thought that it would be fun for you to see. So she made the card. It's made on watercolor paper, I believe. And so I think she said it was made, let's see. It's Jane Davenport, and I won't go through the rest of it. But anyway, I just wanted you to be able to see this card. She's got, there's her name, has lots of layers on it. It's very pretty. It's just very pretty with just a beautiful butterfly on it. Those who've been hanging around me for a while know the significance of butterflies in my life. And all the things that she added inside. So she drew some things and she added some words and so forth. A very thoughtful card. Super thoughtful. Very thoughtful message as well. And then she made this little journal. And it's so pretty, isn't it? And she used a paper collection that I don't remember the name of this paper collection. I have one of these paper collections somewhere in my stuff, but I can't remember exactly where it is. It's something about color. One of you might know what it is. And this this journal she made, and she made it using, it's the first one. She said it was the first one she'd made. And she had watched one of the YouTube videos that I had on how to, do a simple pamphlet stitch. But she did some of the just such interesting little things. Like I don't do any of this interactive stuff in my journals like this. She says, happy journaling. I hope you enjoyed. This is my first book. And life is a kaleidoscope of color. I think kaleidoscope may be in the title of that paper collection. I'm not sure. Hey, Carla. Hello, everyone. So nice to have you guys join me today. I'm glad you're here. But she's got all these little interactive things, which are really fun. I'm going to put that back later. But it was really nice of her to share her first book that she made with me. I thought that was really nice. I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have sent my first book away. And this is a bookmark that she made. And she drew the mandalas. So she drew the mandalas, which I thought was really nice. Isn't that nice? And then she put in these are stickers. So there's some stickers in here. There's several stickers. This one I think is a sticker. I think both of these are stickers. The Jane Davenport things blend with this collection really nicely. Aren't they pretty? These are postcards. But her style of decorating the pages I thought was really interesting. Kaleidoscope by Graphic 45. Okay, thanks. I thought Kaleidoscope was it after I saw that. But I really like what she's done. Just little bits of things here and there on the pages. So there's plenty of room that I can journal in it as well. And add things to it, which was really nice. Paint your heart. Paint till you, sorry. If I could read, it would help. Paint till you faint is what that says. Anything is possible. So just different kinds of papers and little bits of this and that she put in here. I mean, I love these little, I'm never that minimalistic, and I think that is so effective. Isn't that nice? That's great. I mean, a piece of tape. It's a really good idea. And there's the back. Okay. And then she left the strings long and put a couple of beads on it to tie it closed. So there was that. And look at this. Look at this. I know. Look at this little bag. First of all, I love these little bags. But look, there's a whole flock of Beauty Miss things in here. If I can get it out. Caught on a thread. There we go. Still caught on a thread. But look, there's more of those little 3D. These are those little three-dimensional butterflies. I don't know where these come from. I have no idea. Maybe somebody in the chat knows. But that is a sturdy little butterfly when it made it all the way from wherever she lives. Where does she live? Pennsylvania. It made it all the way from Pennsylvania without being crushed, mangled, or torn off. I know. So all different kinds of butterflies. This is a little, it's adhesive. It looks almost like a wax seal, but it's not. Not sure what it is, an embellishment of some kind. But more butterfly things and more butterfly things. Wasn't that sweet? And no drama llama. She sent me a no drama llama. Is that cute? Post-its, little post-it strips, post-it notes. Ain't those cute? And then she made an ATC. So she made an ATC. Create art from the heart, for sure. And all of that was in this pretty little see-through bag. Again, I'm going to put all this stuff back together later. I'm just going to kind of scooch it over to the side. It was incredibly thoughtful. Incredibly thoughtful. And then she sent some napkins, some different napkins. Again, many of them have spring type images on them, and then a Hello Spring napkin. So several of those, and a different kind as well. And then these are some of the Jane Davenport napkins, which I have looked at 100 times but never purchased. So that's going to be fun to have. That was really nice. And these are some postcards from, I'm not sure how you say her name. It's either Johanna or Johanna Basford. So beautiful postcards that I can color or use in my journal. That's probably what I'll do with them. And then some more bookmarks. She heard me say, I'm sure she heard me say that no matter how many bookmarks I have, I still dog-ear the pages of my books. So I have no excuse now because she sent me some additional beautiful bookmarks. She does have a big heart. She really does. Trust the mess. No kidding. And this says I'm learning to fly. But she made all of those. They're pretty. And this one I thought was fun. This has stenciling on it, and it says, "Note to self: create one-of-a-kind love. The great gift we can bestow on others is a good example." One time, I was in a doctor's office. This was a long time ago, and it said there was a thing on the wall that says, "If you can't be a good example, you'll just have to be a horrible warning." Like, yeah, really, for sure. But what I thought was so interesting about this is the different, it's not straight. It's not straight all the way down. It does this little interesting detail at the bottom, and she took advantage of that. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, thought that was really neat. So anyway, thank you so much, Amber. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then I wanted to show you this card. Dana, she was in the chat. I don't know if she's still here. Dana sent this card to me, and is this the cutest card ever? Look at that. Is that cute? Look at that cross-eyed little Siamese. She said she even had this in her stash. It must have been waiting for me. But is that the cutest card ever? So cute. So cute. So anyway, thank you, Dana. Thank you so much. Okay, so that's Happy Mail. So let me move the Happy Mail elsewhere before these butterflies fly away. So let me move all of this someplace where I don't squash it or lose my butterflies. Oh, I'm telling you guys, man, do I need to clean this studio space. Ah, man, terrible mess. Terrible mess around here. Some of you that were, it's no drama, it's drama-free Friday, but last Sunday and Monday were far from drama-free. Sunday was our last show and share for the Beyond Mandala Madness. Man, brain fart. Golly. And so that was on Sunday. Except I woke up Sunday morning and the electricity was off. And to make a very long story short, it didn't come back on until, I don't know, we were without electricity for probably 7 or 8 hours. It's crazy. So Race had to jump in. He didn't have the link to get to the room where the people were. So we had to mess around until we finally got that information, because my computer, everything's gone, So, and I don't send the emails to myself with links in them and stuff. So, we had to kind of go around Robin's barn to get there, but we got it. And then Race had to get in and tell everybody what happened, that I had no electricity. So that was Sunday. So we rescheduled for Monday. So then Monday came around and we had to do it all over again, everything. So we got about halfway through the session and I lost internet. Totally lost internet. Sunday and Monday were craziness. So when in doubt, when things like that happen, what is my go-to? But my go-to is to mandala, always mandalas. And so I thought I would show you this one that I had done. I'd shown some of this one to some of the people that were in Beyond Mandala Madness the other day, but I finished it, I think, and so I thought I'd show it to you. So this is the Circle Grid Sketchbook by Koala Tools. This is the first time that I have used this book myself. It's all gridded in circular grids, and it also has the degrees, the angles of degrees around the outside edge. It's missing like the 45 and 90 and so forth. We won't go there. I'm not sure how fond I am of this grid, but it was interesting. And so the jury's still out. I'm gonna have to use it a few more times to see how well I like it. But anyway, here it is finished. So I thought that I would just show it to you once it was finished. So this is colored with Inktense. Let's see, what did I use? Inktense pencils that I activated with a Dove blender pen. This paper is super duper thin. This is like copy paper, like 20-pound paper thin. And so if you're going to activate a water-soluble product on something like this, you can't really use a water brush because it's going to warp it immediately. But a blender pen it kept it very, very flat. I don't know if you can see that or not. But it kept it really very flat. So anyway, and then all of the detail work is done with just a few colors of the Moonlight pens. So I just thought I would show you once it was completed. And my my other challenge to myself on this one was to only use a very limited color palette. So I used yellow and blue, which are two of the primary colors, and so that's fun to limit yourself. Many times when I start a mandala, I will use, I'll give myself a restriction, just a challenge, we'll say. Do Inktense get more intense with time? I don't know. Actually, I don't know. The blender pen, let's see, looks like this, and you get the blending fluid. Sorry, had to dig a minute. There's all kinds of blender pens out there. This is the Dove blender pen. I don't remember who it was that talked about the Dove blender pen. This has been a number of years ago. Might have been Pam Carricker, but I don't remember exactly. Anyway, it's called the Dove blender pen. It's refillable. It's a felt tip that's stained because of the Inktense. You're supposed to be able to pull the back end out of it, and I haven't been very good about using this pen, so I think it's stuck itself shut, so haven't been able to get into it. Anyway, you buy the fluid, which I don't know, this could just be glycerin, I really don't know, but you buy this blending medium, which it's in a plastic bag for a reason because it's messy. It also comes with some extra little tips, and it feels kind of like it might be glycerin, but I don't know. It is not fun. Yeah, it really does blend the pencils really well. It does blend pencils really well. So, but what I ended up doing, because I couldn't get the end off of it, is I just ended up taking this and dipping it in the blending fluid, letting it soak a minute, and then blending with it. So that's how I used it this time. I do like the way this blends. I do like the way it blends. The blending fluid, even though I have kept it upright, still has migrated outside into the bag. So if you get anything like this, make sure you keep it in a bag. So it's good and it's challenging, but here's what I find with most art supplies. That's the case. With most art supplies, I find that you just have to learn how to use them. You can't get mad because they don't do what you think they should do. Well, you can, but it doesn't do any good, right? You're much better off to just discover how they function and what they're good for and move through the process. Okay, so let's talk about this journal that we're doing, that we've set up. Let's talk about this journal. So I decided, because of my quiet time this morning, that we should take advantage of the fact, if you wish, you don't have to, but I thought we should take advantage of the fact that most of us, I think, are getting to a point of, with this whole situation, which such an unusual thing that we're dealing with, because it's everybody. It's everybody, it's worldwide, and it's just such a weird thing. Isn't there a blending pencil and the Inktense crayons? I don't know, Dorothy. I don't think so, but I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. Not that I'm aware of, anyway. So I think as I'm hearing more and more people, many of us are getting to a point, finally, we've kind of made it over the hump and we're on the other side of it, of that point of acceptance. And so when you get to that point of going, okay, I got to be where I am, I got to deal with what I got to deal with. And so how can I make the best of this situation? Which brought me full circle back to this, which is my journal of positive words, or my book of positive words. And I've shown this before. And so I thought what we would do is take this concept. I quit working in this book because I chose such crappy paper to use when I first did this. And I thought we'd do something along the same line, but in a smaller format, because this is fairly big. I don't know how big it is. Probably 11 by, I don't know. Let's just measure and quit guessing. 9 by 11. 9 inches by 11 inches. And that's pretty big to use on a stream. So, but I still thought that the idea is a good idea. So I'm going to zoom in here and give you an idea of what I did. So this is my book of words. Actually, I called it Words I Love, but they're all positive words. Okay. So I just collected all kinds of stuff that had to do with positive words and positivity. And so I thought I would take you through this in a little bit more detail than I usually do. And we'll talk about it. And then you can decide if you want to do one or not. It's totally up to you. This website, I don't know exactly where that came from, but apparently it was, I don't even know that I ever went to that website, which is sayplease.com. I don't know if it's a good website or not. But I think I liked the name of it. Okay. So what I did is, this had a bunch of scraped paint in the background. There's stenciling in the background. This is tape. These pages are perforated. And so I put tape over the perforation, which does not solve the problem of the fact that it's going to still fall apart, because it's still going to come out of the spirals. And so I just started going in this, and this was positivity. What I wrote here is, use each letter of the alphabet to state a word that indicates a feeling. Feel the word, only good feeling words. So these were my rules to myself. Feel forward to move energy, set point forward. I don't know. And there's some other stuff there that I can't even read for sure. So there you go. So there's no danger in people reading my journals, because I can't even read it. I don't know what this is from. Probably a fortune cookie kind of thing. There's tape on here. There's butterflies from napkins. This was a napkin. That's a napkin. The bird is a napkin. And then down here, positive words can change a person's day, a life, and eventually the world. Yes. Okay, so there is the introduction to my book. Okay? All right. So there's just a whole bunch of stuff in the background. It's paint, it's stenciling, it's whatever. And this I found stuck in another journal. Words provide food for the mind and create light for understanding. That's by Jim Rohn, R-O-H-N. Books are portable magic. That was by Stephen King. Be awesome, be a book nut by Dr. Seuss. So I collect things like that. So I stuck it in this journal because I thought those were good things to stick in here. Okay, so this is the reason for the 2-page spread concept. Okay, so 2-page spread concept. And let me see if I can see what I mean? Yeah, and this goes back to 2011. Let me see. Give me just a second. I thought I could put my hand right on these cards, but I don't see them. So I'm not sure where my flashcards are. They may be in a plastic box with all of my word stuff. That's probably where they are. Anyway, this was a deck of flashcards that I bought in this as I was listening to somebody early this morning on YouTube. I was watching a video she was from UK, and she was talking about something being posh, and I thought some posh store or posh dishes or something. Anyway, I bought these cards in a posh baby store. So they were a whole set of alphabet cards. They're on heavy cardstock, and the only thing that was on it was the big letter A in the middle, and then on the other side was the small letter. Okay, so I bought that set of those. Incredibly expensive purchase, and but I bought them for the purpose of using in this book that I knew I was going to do. So what I did is I've taken these 2 pages is for the letter A, okay? And I took this and turned it into a flap. This is a long time ago. This is 9 years ago when I started this. I've learned a lot since then, but still things are pretty much holding together. Okay? Still pretty much holding together. And then I just experimented with different little things. Like this was just a little teeny book that I don't know if I made this. I guess I probably did. But I stamped the same letter A over and over and over and then stuck it in here. I have no idea where that came from. I suppose I made it, but I don't know. It's too long ago. So I just looked for all the letter A's that I could find. What is scraping on my mat here? So I looked for all different kinds of A's. So I had stickers and alphabet stickers and little bits of things like this says always. So I probably ripped that out of something. I put a bunch of stuff on here. Some of them are rub-ons. And then underneath here, I just took a piece of the little legal pads, and I put my A list. So this is my A list, my favorite A words. And this is from a dictionary. And then on the other side, I just wrote all different kinds of A words. Some of them are stamped, some are stickers, some are rub-ons. And I highlighted things like this was a scrapbook thing that looks like a slide mount. It says anything is possible. The background on this side is different kinds of dictionary paper. You can see up at the top where I have words that I've circled. That's from in the dictionary. So anyway, it's just whatever. And if I misspelled the word, like here I left out the C, I just added it. I just stuck it in there. Okay. And some of these things, there are quotes on here that are printed, again, from the scrapbook section. This was printed on vellum, and nothing was going to stick that in, so I stapled it. You know, there's staples here, so it's just whatever. You know what this did when I was doing this? Because this was back at a point in time where I really needed to shift my focus. I really needed to shift my focus a lot, and I needed to shift it quickly. And doing this journal, and it's only partially done, but doing this gave me something else to focus on. Because as I was going through my day or going through wherever I was, or magazines or whatever, I go, oh, that's perfect for the B page. Oh, that's perfect for the A page. But it had to evoke within me. I had to follow my rules. Okay, so it had to evoke within me that concept of being positive or feeling good. If it didn't make me feel good, wasn't using it. Okay, so there you go. So this is the B page. So again, in any of these, I started out with the flashcard. And my challenge on that to myself was to see how many different ways I could figure out, how to put them in. You know, like this one, I hinged going this direction. This one, I cut off the top of it. I hinged it going this way. So, so you'll see different things. So anything that appears on these pages, also, I tried to have them start with the letter B. So lots of butterflies, obviously. And this was at a point in time for me where I really was having to exercise bravery. So you're going to see the word brave over and over and over. And brave for different reasons. But, so you'll see that a lot. And then underneath, this is a word that I cut out. So I had cut the letters out to use on something else. So this was what was left. This was a scrapbook thing. Plan B. It's always good to have a plan B. If plan A doesn't work out, plan B is good. But this paper is sketchbook paper, and it was not good for this, but I still highly value this book. And so here is the letter C, okay? And on this one, I did some stenciling in the background, and then I stamped a bunch of stuff. I think that's what that is. I can't tell you for sure, but anyway, so these are all my C words. And every once in a while, I'll come back in and I'll add something else. You know, I'll find another word, so I'll just add it, you know. But now I'll just add them with my handwriting instead of this kind of stuff. Some of these are cut from magazines. Many of these are cut from magazines. This was from a sleeve on a coffee cup. It's not like this is a sticker, a 3-dimensional, it's a resin sticker or something. So, and then underneath the flap, I would always put something that was really important to me. So there's a bunch of dictionary words here: courage, creation, creative, creativity. So do you kind of get the idea of how you can approach a journal like this? And like I said, this is big. This is big format, which is probably why I quit doing it. I don't know. So here's the flashcard. So the thing that is the continuity throughout the journal, honestly, are these flashcards. And so I just continued to reshape them and reattach them in different ways into the journal. So you might, if you decide you want to do something like this, I would suggest that you find something that will give your journal some kind of continuity. Just one thing that you can carry through the whole thing. Or you can make your own flashcards and do that. So these are my D pages, and underneath here is another dictionary page that has all the D words that I liked. This is a great distraction. Distraction is not necessarily a bad word either, so that might have to go in here. But for me, it was a really good exercise in changing my mindset. So this is the E page. So this really got quite full. And so I was running out of ideas for ways to put my cards in. I don't have any. This must have been a die cut. I don't know what I did to this. I have no idea how I got the edges I got on that. Anyway, put it in with a brad, and then so it flips out of the way. Lots of things from magazines. These were foam letters, so I've used those different places. The foam alphabet stamped. This is another one. So it was a foam alphabet that that I just stamped in with paint, and then messed around with that. Okay. This was to do with Reiki, which has nothing to do with this journal as far as the words go, but Reiki is a very important principle for me, and so I've talked about this in the past, so it stays in this journal. And so this is the F page, and here's again the little card. They're getting smaller because I'm reshaping. A friend is a second self. This is probably one of the best things for me, which is find a way. Because you know what? If you can't figure out how to do it, then you just have to find a way. Yep. And if you put it out there and you ask, somehow the way will come and make itself known. It does. Sometimes the rub-ons didn't work very well, so sometimes I just had to fake it. But I have to look at this a lot, and I have to look at it a lot because the pages are getting fuller and fuller. And this is the G page. This one I got fancy on. This one I put modeling paste through a stencil, and you can see I slopped from some other page over here, and that's one of those, oh well, I did what I intended to do, and then if I want to repair that I could, but probably I won't.
I'm not sure I understand.
Go away, Siri. And so just different treatments.
I'm not sure I understand.
Siri, go away. Lord, love a duck. When your watch and your when your watch and your phone try to control your life, Ellie does Reiki. Yeah, it is a really marvelous healing modality. This is a little envelope. I don't think it has anything in it yet, but I found this little envelope which was pocket full of gems here, and so I just put gratitude on it. So we're just about at the end. I think this was the last page I actually did. Yes, and so from here I just have a bunch of things for the H page stuck in here, and the background started. And this is basically what I would do, is just start with something that started with the letter. So, home. The rest of it after that is just scraped paint and stencils and, junk. This is just my junk book, which I still smear stuff in here from time to time. And will this get completely finished? I don't know. But here, one of the reasons that I wanted to show this to you is when I can't, I'm not a great sleeper. Okay, I'm not a super great sleeper. And so when I go to sleep, sometimes it takes me a while to go to sleep. And one of the techniques I use, because I've learned to employ different ways of I think of it as powering down enough that I can go to sleep. So one of the things that I use is I use my positive words, because the journal is in my head. And so when I'm going to sleep and I can't turn off my brain, because my brain sometimes just goes like a hamster wheel thing. So what I'll do is I'll just start flipping the pages of my journal in my mind, and I just start picturing those words. And so I rarely ever get to C. It's usually I'll have the A words and the B words, and then I'll get to C, and I don't remember anything after that because I'll go to sleep. But for me, it's a very effective tool most of the time to kind of help me relax enough and go to sleep with a positive mindset, which is good. If you don't want to do something like that and you don't want to make a journal, this is another kind of journal that you might have. I don't know. It's hard to say. Just giving you some ideas. So this is a Strathmore mixed media journal. And so this is the same Strathmore mixed media paper that I've used in other journals, the spiral journals. This is rice paper I put on the cover. And so this is the mixed media paper. The thing that's nice about this, it's a stitched journal. The things that's nice is it's not spiral. Sorry, it's not going to be happy. It's not spiral bound, and so you can work across the 2 pages if you want. Okay, so I haven't done a lot in this. Actually, I think what I did is I tested some products in the back. So that was all I did in this book so far. But it's a nice size book, and it's something that you could use if you had something like that already in your stash of stuff. Another thing that you can use, this is a Canson art book, and this is sketch paper also, but it's a sewn journal. So it, unlike the other one that I had that had the perforated pages that's falling apart, this is stitched. You see, it's a stitched journal, and so this is not going to fall apart on you. So even though the paper is thin, you could always glue 2 pages together, or just understand that by the time you get enough stuff on the page, it's going to thicken it enough that it's going to be okay. Those pages in that other book are fine, other than the fact that they're going to fall out of the spiral. So that is another option if you have a stitched journal. And here's a couple of different other books that I've created over time for various things. This was based around one of Pam Carricker's books. And this one is one that I created. So I made this, and it's made from watercolor paper. I didn't do anything to the cover other than smear some paint on it. This is sticky back canvas. This is sticky back canvas, and it's over something, probably watercolor paper, but I don't know. It's been too long since I made this one. But this is a stitched journal. Okay, so it's stitched signatures. This is 140-pound paper. I used 3 pages. Okay, there's 3 pages per signature. and I stitched it to something. I don't know exactly what I stitched it to. I'm guessing I stitched it to Tyvek, and then I covered the stitching. Stitching is there, covered it with a piece of the sticky back canvas, is what I think I did. Okay. Why are you in here? Okay, this journal is creating art at the speed of life exercises. There you go. That's what it was. Because it's watercolor paper and the size is nice, and I'll tell you what the size is for these pages. They are 5.5 by 7.5. But these pages are a nice size. They're not too big. Okay, they're not too big to work in. And see, I didn't even do my color wheel right. I put those in the wrong place. But it's good. The strength of the paper is good. So this is 140-pound paper. And so the pages are one thickness, where what we did with the other one, the 90-pound papers, we're gluing two together to make it so that it's sturdier, beefier pages. So these are all different exercises from that book. Again, I got so far through the book and then I stopped working in here, but I still love this journal and I love looking at it. And there are some things that are really successful. There are other things that are not successful. And that's okay. This was back in 2014, so it's been a few years. I like this page a lot. This was exercise 12. Exercise 12, Ephemeral Matters. And so we printed off a bunch of these little evaluation things. So that's what's in each one of these pages, is the evaluation, things that I like, things I didn't like, things I learned, and so forth and so on. I don't know what I used on this. Feels like clear gesso. Ugh. Liquitex clear gesso at that. So this was a stamp that I carved, and then I made it into a door or a window. So anyway, there is that. So you can make, and this is my leftover bits and bobs. So you can make a journal like that if you would rather. You know, that's another option. So this is a little bigger than the one that I'm doing, that I showed you earlier today. This is the size journal that I showed you earlier today. And then this is another one, another style of journal that you can do. And this one has a removable cover. Okay, so removable cover. And the advantage to that is that now whatever I do in here, I'm not gonna jack up the cover. If I really like the cover, which in this case I really do, if I really like this cover, then I'm not going to mess it up with paint and stuff, so I can take it off. And this one is, I think this was a meander. Let's see, did I do this as a meander? I think I did this as a meander book. Yeah, I did. And so this is watercolor paper, and it's a meander book, which is a particular style of cutting and folding your pages together. I think this is two big sheets of watercolor paper. But it's a lot of fun to do books like this. Back to the mandalas. A partially done mandala at that. More partially done mandalas. And more. And more. And I think that was all I did in this. And then the other advantage is you can turn it over And you can use the pages, because it's that heavy watercolor paper, this is 140 pound, you have more pages in the back. You don't have quite as many pages in the back as in the front, because there are certain places, like right here, where I glued two pages, I glued them together. Okay, like that. So that's another option that for making a book yourself that is not stitched, where this one is a stitched book, this one is not. This is just cut it, fold it, and glue pages together if you want to glue pages together. And then I just made a cover, and then to hold it closed I made a belly band, and so that closes the book. Now as this book gets more and more filled up with stuff, the belly band will have to increase, so it'll have to have its own thing. This structure is called the Meander book, and I'm sure you can find it online. It's not hard to do. It's not hard to do. Basically, you take, see if I can, I don't know if I can explain this well enough or not. We'll say this is a full sheet of watercolor paper. Okay. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to cut in to one place, and you're going to cut from the other side to here. So you have two opposing cuts, and there's a series of folds that go with it. You fold first, and then you cut, and then it just folds. It just folds. I've got one here. Let me see if I can show you this. This was a book that my granddaughter did for me. I think I did the book, and then she decorated it. I think is what we did. And gave it back to me after she decorated it. Let's see. Nope. Wrong. Nope. Forget that you saw that, because that is not. I was thinking this was a Meander book. This is not. That's something else. Sorry. You didn't see that, because that's not what I thought it was. Anyway, just Carla Kate Fish has lots of Meander book videos too, so you can find out. Yeah, there you go. She put it in there. She's a playlist for Meander books. So, you know, you can do that. You can make a Meander book in any size with any piece of paper. So you can do it with a piece of typing paper, copy paper. You can do it with full-size sheets of watercolor paper, which is how I did that book. Okay, so let's go back to this. So this is the little book that we started this stream with. Okay, so this is the book we started with. And so by this point, it has been underweight, and so it is, it's well stuck together. You can see the spine is kind of going out at an angle, so I'll try to correct that when I add some more pages to it. The pages are kind of angling back a little bit, but you know, honestly, I don't care. I don't care, because the whole point of this little book is going to be to make it into a small doable project if you wish to do it. That will be on the order of something like this, you know. And sometimes, you know, if you're not at that place of acceptance about what's going on, sometimes you got to fake it till you get there. Sometimes you got to fake it till you get there. And this may be one of those things that just by focusing your energy into something that's positive, that helps redirect your attention, your focus, and your energy. So this page right here is going to be, see where this says glue to the cover? That's why that's there, to remind me, don't put anything on this page. So I wrote the word title here, and that's just because that's what I'm going to use this page for. This type of thing will go here. So it's like maybe a better word for this will be introduction. So could be introduction or purpose, or whatever you want to put on that first page. Okay. All right. So that's the idea for this. And then when you come over here and you see where we put the letters A, where I put A, that equates to what we have going on here. Okay, so a 2-page spread, but you see the difference in size? You're not going to have a ton of space to have to fill up. So if you can't think of a lot of A words, or if you get to the last part of the alphabet and you can't think of any X words, or you can't think of any Y words or Z words or whatever, then, put one word on the thing. Put one word. Put no words. You might just put X. I can't think of anything. Move on. Okay? So then the next, and we've glued those 2 pages. These are 2 pages glued together, back to back, right? Each set of pages is glued together. So then the next spread becomes B, C, D, E, F, G, and so forth. So I'm now ready to, because it says glue on it, because I laid all this out ahead of time, then I know that this page has to glue to the next thing. But it's a nice, sturdy little book, not meant to be anything fancy, not meant to be archival, not meant to last 100 years. This book, this little book right here, is meant to get you from point A to B, no pun intended. Just to get you from here to there. Okay? Just get you from here to there. It'll give you a place to, if you decide you want to do it, to focus some of your stuff. Focus some of your stuff. So does anybody have any questions about that? What size is what, Teresa? What size, I'm not sure what you're asking me. Okay, Linda answered. Okay, good. Sorry. I know I've been lousy at keeping up with the chat today. Gotcha. Okay. So, I know I didn't show you a whole lot today, but I showed you about the little book. And so I'm going to give you, I don't know if I'll get back to stream again this week. I have a weekend workshop that I'm involved in on Saturday and Sunday, so that will take up all of those 2 days, and then this next week is going to be super busy because I have the stuff I have to get ready for the next weekend and another workshop that I do next weekend along with the VIP class. So chances are that I won't get here to stream. If I do, it'll be totally pop-up impromptu kind of thing. I would suggest that you take, if you do a little book like this, don't put the cover on it. Put the cover on later. Just let it be, just let it live as a little book. And I would suggest that you either put some spray inks in it or smear some paint in it, or you could smear some white gesso in it, something so you dirty up the pages. Okay, just dirty up some pages so that it's not this pristine white book. And most anything that you put in there, you're going to cover up anyway. And then what we'll do is, or my plan is that I will start on it next week, next Friday. That's my plan. And then we'll just play with it and see what shows up. It'll be good for me too to, think about more words. What words do I want to put in this book? And because it's not very big, because the size of it's not very big, you're going to have to be a little bit selective unless you write really small. Ellie's all over the word book thing. Cool. All right, so any additional... Oh, thanks, Becky. Any additional questions or comments or anything that you have to say? We haven't seen the cats for a while. Would you like to see the cats? Because they haven't been out for a while. Let me clear some space here. I should probably show you this little journal before I get them out. This little book that my granddaughter made that I started to tell you was a meander book, and it's not. I'll show it to you just because it's such a cool little book. She is such a sweetheart. I did this in, I don't know exactly what this was that I did this in, but this is fabric. The background is fabric. And then the pages were stitched together on the sewing machine. And I don't know, paint or something for the backgrounds. And so she took this book and she put in all these kinds of things. And it was past, present, and future. So I gave her the book when it was finished. I think that's how it was. And then she put it together. But it functions kind of like a meander book in that it folds back and forth and so forth. Anyway, so I just thought I would show you that. Since I let you look at it and then said, oh no, you can't look at it. Okay, so let me get the cat cam. And then I will get them. Sponsor cam. I'll get the sponsor cam. Okay, let me see if they want to come out and visit. You want to come out? You want to come out? Well, come on. Come on. Come on. You're always ready. Yeah, you're always ready, aren't you? Come here. I don't know if Charlie will come visit or not. He's in the window. Gonna lay down? You haven't been up here for weeks. You haven't been up here for weeks and weeks. Are you gonna lay down? He's purring like crazy. You gonna lay down and look at your camera? There we go. Okay. So this is Chance. Now you get to see my messy desk. Oh, hi Amber. Oh, she got the 3D butterflies at the Dollar Tree near her. Oh, cool. Did you see, Amber, that 3D butterfly made it on the outside of the package? All the way. All the way. It made it. Thank you so much, Amber. That's the Amber that sent that beautiful package of goodies. So this is Chance. Yes. Did you have a good nap in there? Did you have a good nap? Charlie's apparently not going to come out. He's not going to come out. So anyway, this is where we're going to stop. Oh, he is not just big. He's like mammoth. He is mammoth cat. So this is where we're going to stop today. Thank you guys for being here, and I hope that you have a good rest of your weekend. It's going to be busy around here. But then it's always busy around here. Thanks so much for joining me today, and we will see you next Drama Free Friday, if not before. No guarantees. We'll just see how it goes. So remember to get creative today, because you know... What do you know? Do you know it's easy? Yeah, you live an easy life, don't you? All right, I'll see you guys later. Have a wonderful afternoon. It's just getting ready to start pouring here. I hear the thunder in the background, so we're going to go before anything happens. Yeah, it's easy. Exactly. All right, we'll see you guys later. Stay healthy, stay well, stay creative, do something good. Do something good for yourself. All right, we'll see you guys later. Bye for now.